Hello students, get ready for today's economics class. Today we will start with the second part of the chapter. Now look at this mind map. Look at this mind map. These are the main topics that we will cover in this chapter. So look at the first definition of economics, already we have done. Central problems of an economy, that is what to produce, for whom to produce, and how to produce. This is already we have done. So now see the third topic, production possibility frontier. Today we will start this topic. So as we know that resources are always scarce in comparison to our needs. So all the sources have alternative uses. So now society has to decide how much of each of the sources has to be used in the production of different goods and services. So the allocation of scarce resources of the economy gives rise to the particular combination of different goods and services. So, look at this. Now, there is one question. What is the production possibility set? Production possibility set is the possible combination of goods and services that can be produced from a given amount of resources and a given stock of technological knowledge is called the production possibility set of the economy. Means how much of the different combination of goods and services we can produce with the given resources and available technology. This we can do through this table. Now look at this table. We have already done that different combinations of resources can be produced, or different combination of goods can be produced with the given resources. Now there are different combinations. Like a producer is there, he is having limited resources. Now he can use that resources in the production of two goods, that is corn and cotton. So what can be the first possibility? That he can utilize all his resources for the production of cotton. So now 10 units of cotton he can produce and 0 of the corn. Or look at the E combination. All the sources he can use for the production of corn, that is 4, and there will be 0 production of cotton. Or in between there can be different combinations, like in B, producer can produce 1 unit of corn and 9 units of cotton. Or in the C combination, 2 units of corn and 7 units of cotton, or 3 units of corn and 4 units of cotton. So there are different possible combinations of goods that can be produced with the given resources. This can be explained through the diagram. Now look at this diagram. Horizontal line, that is x-axis, here we are representing the production of corn, and vertical line, that is y-axis, here we are representing the production of cotton. So on this curve is concave to a region. Any point on or below it represents the different combinations of cotton and corn that can be produced with the given resources. So now what we see in the diagram, that on point A, the producer is spending or using the sources for the production of cotton, and there is a 0 production of corn. And at point E, the producer is using all the resources for the production of corn, and there is a 0 production of cotton. And in between B, C, D, there are the different combinations that can be produced with the given resources and technology. As we have already discussed that resources are scarce. So if we have to increase the production of one, so there will be decrease in the production of other. Simultaneously, the production of both goods cannot be increased. So there is always a cost of having a little more of one good in terms of the amount of the other good that has to be foregone. That is known as opportunity cost of an additional unit of the good. means like when we are producing more of the cotton, so there will be decrease in the production of corn, or if we are increasing the production of corn, there will be decrease in the production of cotton. So when to increase the production of one, we are leaving the other. The cost of having one more unit, then we have to leave the other goods unit. So that is known as opportunity cost. Now let's start with the last topic of the chapter, that is organization of the economic activities. That is the last topic of this video. Now we know that there are basic problems that we are facing in the economy. So these basic problems can be solved either by the free interaction of the individual or by the interference of the central authority like the government. So on the basis of organization of activities, we can divide this in three, that is command economy or centrally planned economy, second is market economy, and third is mixed economy. So we will do this through this flow chart. So let's start with the command economy, that is known as centrally planned economy. In command economy, the sources are controlled by the government. What to produce, how to produce, at what price the things will be sold in the market, all the decisions are taken by the government. And the main motive of the government is to produce the goods and services for the welfare of the people. So these are available in the market at low prices, so it can lead to the welfare of the society. Like we can take the example of China. China is a centrally planned economy where all the decisions regarding the production and price is taken by the government. Now look at the other type, that is free market. In free market, the resources are owned by the individuals or group of individuals. Here private sector dominates. Things are produced as according to the likes and wants of the people, and these are sold at high prices, and the main motive of the producer is to earn maximum profit. And here consumer is sovereign. What is sovereign means independent. People can purchase the goods and services according to their choices. So the main motive is profit. So here private sector dominates. Let's take the example of USA, where all the things are decided by the individuals and price is settled by the market forces. Which are the market forces? Demand and supply. Now let's take the other example, that is mixed economy, where both the public sector and private sector plays their role. Some resources are controlled by the individuals, that comes under private sector, and some resources are controlled by the public sector, or that comes under the government sector. So which are coming under the private sector? So they are producing the goods and services for their welfare to earn maximum profit, and in public sector goods and services are produced by the government for the welfare of the people, and things are available to the people at low price. So that is a combination of free and centrally planned economy. Like take the example of India. Somewhere resources are controlled by the individuals and somewhere the sources are controlled by the government. So means that is partially controlled by the public sector and partially by the private sector. Now we will do this through the paragraph. In centrally planned economy, different services are like education, health, sanitation, infrastructure. So all these things or all these facilities are provided by the government at low prices. So this comes under the centrally planned economy, and all the major decisions are taken by the government. So this here is the only control of the government, and government tries to equitable distribution of the final goods and services. Next is the market economy. So let's start with the question, what is market? A market is an institution which organizes the free interaction of individuals pursuing their respective economic activities. In other words, a market is a set of arrangements where economic agents, which are economic agents, consumers and producers, can freely exchange their endowments or products with each other. Now, look at this green word, that is chaos, means disorder, and that dark area, shaded area. In market economy, all our goods and services produced are according to the choices of the people, and price is settled by the market forces, that is demand and supply. And producers are trying to increase the production to increase their profit, and production is entirely under the control of private sector. Now last example is mixed economy, where there is a partial control of the government and partial control of the individuals, means partially public and partially private sector. So here somewhere resources are under the government and some resources are controlled by the individuals. So which are under the government, they are trying to provide these goods and services to the people at a minimal price, and the main motive is social welfare. And which resources are controlled by the individuals, they are trying to provide these goods to the people at market prices, and their main motive is to earn maximum profit. Like example is India. Now look at the last question, that what is an institution? An institution is usually defined as an organization. I repeat, an organization with some purpose. Like any organization is doing some work with some purpose, that organization is known as institution. So now we have discussed about the production possibility frontier, how to use the scarce resources in the production of different goods and services. So here we can choose a combination, how much of the sources has to be used in the production of one and how much sources has to be used in the production of other. So this we have done through table and diagram. And the next topic we have done, that is the different types of economy, that is market, that third, second is mixed, and third is the centrally planned economy. I hope these two topics are clear to you. You will revise this at home. Thank you.